Like a Hellcat.
What's up, Laugh Traffic? Thanks for tuning in to the Laugh Lap podcast with Sean and TJ. You can find us on the socials at laugh__lap_podcast_NASCAR_.
Just not in that order.
And no, for real, you can find us at NASCAR_the_laugh_laugh.
That's it.
That's it.
No, wait. Underscore lap.
Something like that.
We'll get it right one of these times.
Just search it. You can find us there. And so welcome. We appreciate you tuning in again for the second week in a row. We're here to give you the Chicago breakdown this week. And we'll hear from you. You'll hear from us in the fan feedback. But first, we got to hear from the good folks over at SeatGeek. If you don't know, SeatGeek is an app. You put this thing on your phone, and what it does is it scans the web for you for whatever tickets you're looking for. If you're looking for concert tickets, if you're looking for NASCAR tickets, I don't know. Some of you might be looking for those. If you're looking for any kind of sports tickets, or even if you want to go to the Broadway, even if you're like TJ, you want to go to the Broadway, SeatGeek will scan the best deals for you. And what it does is it rates them on a scale from 0 to 10. But not only does it rate them on a scale from 0 to 10, what it'll do is it'll also mark them with colored dots. A green dot marks a great deal. A yellow dot, that's an okay deal. Red dot, not so good. Not so good. But at least it lets you know. And if you use promo code ACAA at checkout right now, they will give you $20 off your first purchase. Think about that. That's a few Martinsville hot dogs. That's a couple beers. $20.
Turn a red deal into a green deal.
It could, but if you find a green deal, it just sweetens it that much more. So use promo code ACAA at checkout and get that $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek, life's an event. We have the tickets. So let's see. Where are we going to start? Let's do this. So we're going to hear from you, but of course we want to go over what happened. Let's go over the stage wins, and let's hear the Chicago montage. Let's go.
We got Meyer in turn three. Also coming, but you say spin in turn three.
Spin in turn three.
Right rear tire is blown on the 14 car. Clint Boyer.
Get it going when he can.
Heavy damage.
Boyer around. Caution comes out. 2 laps to go before the end of the stage.
We're stuck.
You asked the question, should you be worried about right rear tires? The 4 car caught and saved his teammate Clint Boyer obviously had a right rear tire issue, and he's got to keep this car rolling. If that ever stops, it'll be stuck in this wet grass. Kelly.
Remember, I said that he was reporting that the car had started to vibrate, and even after they made that quick pit stop, Clint Boyer, as we look at Kyle Busch there, he had said, we've definitely got something going on, Dave.
Well, the 4 of Kevin Harvick said that he had an issue with the front tire. He was able to hold on to the lead while the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th were going on. And while he held on for the win of stage 2. He comes up on 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Alex Bowman looking for his first win in the Monster Energy Cup Series. Alex Bowman has finished in every position in a Cup Series race. 2nd, 43rd, but he's never finished first. Working his way through the final turn. Alex Bowman will win at Chicago.
Thank you guys so much. Damn, Greg, you are the man. Nice job, buddy. Heck of a job. Being proud of you.
Awesome heck of a what? We don't know. He never finished telling us. So that was your montage, and what an exciting day for Alex Bowman. I mean, I know TJ, look, we talked last week before Chicago. Where were we?
We were at Sonoma.
Yes, that's right. But even before that, in Michigan, when we mentioned Michigan, we talked about passing the leader. There was 2 passes for the lead in the last 6 laps of that race.
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually have some stats on the passing if you'd like to hear them.
Yeah, I would love to, because it's been the passing has been sneered at so far this year. So give it to me.
Okay, well, first off, there was 242 laps of green flag racing and only 25 laps of caution. So, I mean, there was not that many cautions in the entire race. And in the past 5 years, this race and last year's race were the best two for lead changes. There's 23 last night or Sunday night, and 24 in 2018. And all the other 3 years were 12, 17, and 17 lead changes.
Crazy.
Yep. Sunday night's race also had the most different leaders. There was 13. And let's see, what else? What else would you want to know? Oh, green flag passes. There was 3,784 green flag passes, and that's up over 1,000 passes from last year.
That was in the race this time. 3,000 green flag passes. That's crazy. I don't know who counts that, but congratulations.
Yeah.
Nor do I trust your number. But I guess I got telemetry on that. So you didn't hear in the first stage, that was a Denny Hamlin win for the stage 1, Kevin Harvick for stage 2, and obviously Alex Bowman won the race. There was a little bit of drama at the end of stage 1 there, and it finished under caution. So some notable things from the race, TJ. I had put Kyle Larson. I was sneered at for putting Kyle Larson in my power rankings last year in my top 5, or last week in my top 5, and I thought that he could bounce back, and I was sitting there on the edge of my seat going, please justify my power ranking, putting you in there just because I believe in you, Kyle. And he almost won the freaking race. It's just his type of track, man.
It is. I was just kind of second guessing it because anywhere else we've gone this year, the top lane really wasn't proving to be a great lane for
and
runs.
Wasn't really necessarily this time either. It's all about the momentum.
Yeah. And but for some reason it worked at this track with this package, and I was surprised, but I was glad because those are the type of races that he shines on.
And when was the last time you saw Jimmy Johnson take the lead? I mean,
I know.
He took the lead before the freaking tornado rolled through there. But he took the lead, and we got to see a little bit of that action for all the Jimmy Johnson fans out there. And we all, as fans, whether you hate Jimmy Johnson or love Jimmy Johnson, it's good for him to do good.
Yeah, it's great for the sport.
Yeah, and it's just like it was even if you hated Dale Jr., for him to do good was good for the sport.
Or even Gordon. It's like when these guys come towards the end of their career, I think people put aside their differences and just respect them for what they've done, and they can see through that. Yeah,
absolutely. So what other things we have there, TJ, that were noticeable? The Hendrick cars we mentioned.
Hendrick cars and Chevys in general, I think.
Well, you've got a lot of Hendrick engines out there. Kyle Larson runs a Hendrick engine. Mm-hmm. I'll get it out eventually. And so, it's just kind of like with the Joe Gibbs thing when Furniture Row had the 2 cars, had Eric Jones and Martin Truex run the Gibbs engines. And you could just tell how much that helps those smaller teams. And Ganassi, not for anything, just hasn't been – they didn't really – how do I put this nicely? They weren't putting out like quality race cars. Kyle Larson's been driving them things sideways for a couple years.
Yeah.
I mean,
pushing them to the limits. Yeah.
Absolutely. So those Hendrick engines help. So the majority of the top 10 were all drivers without a win.
Yeah, I mean, which is not difficult, but you kind of expect them. You would expect the top 3 guys, which have been Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and Truex, to dominate these races, and they really weren't. It was a bunch of guys who are looking for wins or on winless streaks. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and speaking of Kyle Larson, like we did here just a second ago, let's hear what he had to say. Second place finish.
When I got by him, I was like, all right, good. He's going to be in my dirty air and get loose. And he could get big runs on me down the straightaways, and I think that allowed him to get that run into 1. And then he got to my inside, and I got a little bit tight. I don't know if him getting air on my spoiler or something got me tight, but I had to kind of breathe it a little bit, and then we side drafted on the backstretch. So I wish I would have maybe done some things different into 3 instead of going all the way to wall, maybe chasing the bottom to try and hang on his quarter, but he might have cleared me anyways down there. But yeah, I wish I could have got a win for McDonald's and got them in victory lane, but still a good day, a great day for Chevy and Hendrick engines. That was really cool to see. A lot of us Hendrick engine guys, up front and kind of drafting and breaking away from the groups behind us on the short runs. So I felt good about my car on the long runs. If I was out in clean air, I think we just had a lot of downforce and drag in our car, so I just felt slow in clean air. But when I could get behind people, I was okay, and then could just wait until we got laps on tires, and I could start making ground.
Yeah, he said he was basically the clean air, which is odd. He just wasn't fast in clean air because he couldn't suck up, and it's the package. So we've heard a lot about the package. Are we going to hear about this in fan feedback? Because I haven't seen the fan feedback. But we've
I don't
talked.
think so.
Okay, well, we've talked a lot about the package. I mean, well, not in the podcast. It's only 2 episodes old, but you and I have, and I have with other race fans. And some people just hate the package, and I don't understand why, because you're in the gas. It is all about being in the gas and getting in the draft. It's like every mile and a half track is almost like Daytona. I mean, they can get spread out, but you rely on the draft way more now than you used to. Yeah. And you rely on the momentum in the turns. If you can roll the center and pick up early, you're going to be golden. But the balance on the car has got to be almost perfect. So Hamlin, once again, he wins a stage, but then he just not his fault this time, because he's been reckless on pit road, especially last year a ton. But not his fault this time. He had a pit road penalty for a tire, out of control tire, and which is
questionable, but.
Right. It's within the rules, I guess, but maybe the rules are a little tight, you saying, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the rules stupid. But
it might be.
Applies to everybody.
And this is coming from someone who's not a big Denny fan.
Right, but the rule applies to everybody, right? So
right, so it applies to everyone, so, as long as NASCAR is enforcing it, then I guess that's okay.
And he had the lug nut violation too at the end of the race there. So I guess well, okay, well, let's do this, TJ. Okay. Let's do your biggest winner and your biggest loser. The rules for biggest winner, biggest loser are, okay, you can't pick Alex Bowman. He won the race. We know he's the winner. Okay.
The biggest winner cannot be the winner of the race.
Exactly. Okay.
And biggest loser is just free range.
Basically. Yeah. Okay. Basically. So go ahead.
All right. So, well, if I can't pick the winner, I'm going to pick second place. And since we've already discussed that this is a biased podcast. Wait. Never mind. I'm just kidding.
I watched the clip from the last episode where you kind of
the warning sign.
Kind of shamed me for that. So I don't know.
I did. But I actually have a good reason for why he should be biggest winner.
Okay, well, he's not my driver per se, and I agree with you. I think he's the winner.
Yeah.
For reasons I mentioned last week.
Yeah.
Just for the record. Okay, go ahead.
He wasn't in the wall. He didn't choke. I mean, he didn't win the race, but he didn't choke. Any other time, he would have overdriven in a corner or hit the wall.
He was passed, fair and square.
Yeah, he was passed. And so I think it was a good bounce back. And I think this is a great time to turn it up a notch. He had a terrible first half of the season. Yep, keep the momentum going, and hopefully, and he's been known to have a good stretch in the summer, and then all of a sudden get into the playoffs and kind of have some bad luck or bad races. So hopefully this can just carry all the way through, and he can keep the momentum going.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. Who's your biggest loser? I agree with you on the biggest winner. So I concur. I've already given him enough praise, I think.
Yeah.
So go ahead with your biggest.
It hurts too much to give him any more.
No, I just don't want to be redundant.
Yeah, I get you. My biggest loser is going to be Stewart-Haas Racing. Because their first driver to finish the race was Kevin Harvick in 14th.
Mm-hmm. He was my loser. Kevin Harvick was my biggest loser. He had it.
Yeah.
He was up there in the top 5 most of the race.
All day, yeah.
And so yeah.
And then so
you just picked the whole damn team and threw him under the bus.
The whole damn team. Eric,
go home.
Eric Almirola came in 16th. Daniel Suarez 24th, and Clint Boyer came in second to last, 37th.
Listen, I like Daniel Suarez, first Hispanic kid to or driver basically to win a championship in car, but He just hasn't performed. Truex
Yeah.
is in his car. He was in that car for like 3 years. He didn't do diddly squat in that car.
Mm-hmm.
And
now
Truex won 4 races in his first year. And granted, he's got probably one of, if not the best crew chiefs in all of NASCAR right now in Cole Pern.
Mhm.
But Suarez has got good rides, man. And
he's in Kurt Busch's old ride.
yeah.
And Kurt Busch won a handful of races in it, so he's just not performing. Did you think he moved up too fast, or do you think he just?
I think after a championship, it's time to move up. I don't think it.
Okay.
I just think it's a whole nother ball game. It's kind of like going from playing college or playing high school basketball to playing college basketball. It's just such a jump, and I know the levels of professionalism are different, but it's a big jump is what I'm saying. You're doubling the amount of time in a race, first of all, to start. And the cars are totally different, and the talent is astronomical. I mean, you're racing against the best guys in the world, in my opinion. So
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah. So all right, well, TJ, it's time for a little fan feedback.
Let's do it.
All
right. So I got onto the NASCAR _the_.
Good stuff. Okay.
So I got onto the NASCAR The Laugh Lap Instagram, and I posted a question to my story, and I said,
what's the handle there at the Laugh Lap Instagram?
It's at NASCAR _the_laugh_lap. Getting pretty good at that.
It's a pretty awful handle.
Yeah. I'll shorten it once I get a little more popular, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so on the story, I posted thoughts on the race, and
What's
best
a story?
response.
Explain to the non-Instagrammers what a story is, because
the story.
I'm not one.
Right.
For instance.
So the story is it's not
really
a post.
care. I don't really care.
Okay, cool.
Go on with the fan feedback, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
So let's see. Monster Toe said, "Best race I've seen in a long time." Would you agree with that?
I thought these 1.5-mile track restarts, and Truex is only really good at them when he's up front. So it gets jumbled from like 5th back to 20th. It's a freaking crapshoot.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. And
Yeah.
I think the racing at these is great. And I mean, I'd really have to sit down and think about if it's the best all year, because there's been some really good races this year. But
yeah,
it's up there. I love it. It has made the 1.5-mile tracks, even when they go long green, not boring as hell.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I would say with a few exceptions, but
there
overall.
always are exceptions. Michigan, you couldn't pass the leader. So, that was a 2-mile track, though, as I was corrected last week.
Yes. Yeah. Mayo is glue said 1.5 miles like this are the future of NASCAR.
Well, Mayo is glue. I think your handle is better than your comment, but which I love. Oh, you got what is? I love that handle. It's cool.
Right.
So, there's so many 1.5-mile tracks already. I feel like things like the Roval, and I just feel like NASCAR needs more short tracks, more Roval type tracks, road course, something else, that we could turn it in. There's other tracks we could turn infields into road courses. Charlotte's not the only one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, T. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with this package, and
I think the good outweighs the bad. I really do. But I can't watch a 1.5-mile track all the time. And I don't know if it's the future of NASCAR, but it has made it more exciting, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely has made a lot of
it's made the racing better. I don't know if it's more.
Yeah.
Some people are bored with watching green lap passing. I'm not.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a good wreck. So do I. But
Yeah.
I'm not bored with watching green lap passes either. So anyway.
All right. And for the final one, Rennie Penny said the last run was really awesome. Even though I'm a Larson fan, that was really great battle.
It was a great battle, and I think everybody, even whether you're a Larson fan or a Bowman fan, you were rooting for the guy that was in second.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
at one point I was rooting for Bowman to pass Larson, and I was rooting for Larson to pass Bowman. And when Bowman passed Larson again, I wanted to see Larson pass Bowman. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Bring
It's
it to the line, boys.
Exactly. Because we all remember last year, we talked about it last week with the slide job, and we got to hear Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson talk about that before the race. It was pretty funny because they're both like, they were admitting they were running into each other on purpose and everything. And I love that. I love that. I mean, this package can create that type of action too. Just gotta somehow we got to get it a little better in dirty air, just a touch.
Well, and you think about it, this is just the first year with the package, and I think once all the bigger teams catch up to one another, then I think we could see some really good racing.
So we're done with the fan feedback. That's it.
Yep, that was the last one.
All right.
That was the top three.
Okay. Well, we should do the top 5 from now on. Just saying.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, give the fans a voice. This is the Laugh Lab podcast, the fans' voice.
That's right. I came up with that.
Actually, I came up with that. This Marshall podcast. So time for power rankings. TJ, you want to go first? Or you want me to go? Power rankings going into Daytona after Chicago.
Okay.
What do you got?
Okay. This is kind of tough for me. All right, I'm actually going to move Larson to 5th.
Okay.
Okay. I am going to move, I would say, Harvick to 4th.
Okay.
Joey Logano still 1st. And then it's Truex 2nd, Kyle Busch 3rd. Actually, you know what?
Did it all weird.
Move Kyle. Okay, fine. Okay. Kyle Larson 5th.
Okay.
Kyle Busch 4th.
Wow.
Harvick 3rd. Truex 2nd. Logano 1st.
Okay. This is tough. I know I had Larson 4th last week, and he was strong. But I'm gonna put him at 5th because he didn't close. I wanted him to close. If he closed, he goes up to 3rd. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I gotta put Kevin Harvick 4th. I know he had a rough go, but he's been there all season. He had a rough race. Then I'm gonna put at 3rd. I'm gonna put Truex, who slipped. He stayed in the top 10. He finished 9th, I think, in Chicago. He had a crap car. Well, no, he didn't have a crap car. He had struggles. Put it that way. They never found the balance. And then I'm gonna put Kyle Busch, and then I'm gonna put Logano. So Kyle Busch 2nd, Logano 1st right now. Logano took the points lead. I think you have to give it to him. Kyle Busch had a rough day. He's going to slip a little bit for me. And Truex, solid top 10, but he's won twice here, and I expected him to push past the top 10 threshold and get at least a top 5, and he didn't. So
yeah,
that's my justification there.
Do you want to talk about the points real quick? Just
Sure.
the bubble.
Sure, go ahead.
So now Alex Bowman is pretty much a lock for the playoffs.
He's a lock.
Yeah. So what is it? The top 16? Is that
Yeah.
how it is? Okay, so so Daniel Suarez and Clint Boyer are 15 and 16, separated by 3 points. Yeah. Separated by 3 points. And then below the cutoff line is Eric Jones and Ryan Newman. Jones is 15 points behind Clint Boyer, and Ryan Newman is another 5 points. And then you're like another 30 points to Ricky Stenhouse in 19th.
Ricky's going to have to win. He's going to have to pull off one of these restrictor play wins.
Yeah, like a battle royale at Daytona.
Yeah, something. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's our power rankings. Next week, TJ, we're going into Daytona, and give us a breakdown. Give us last year's winner.
Last year's winner was Eric Jones. He got his first win at Daytona with the mullet. And
That's right.
I've got some driver ratings for since the last 5 races.
Okay.
And which is kind of ridiculous. They changed this whole website up. So anyway, our top guy is Ryan Preece, but he's only raced 1 race there.
Yeah, you can't. I hate that.
Yeah.
You can't
So we'll go Ryan Newman at the top with an
Okay.
11.2 finish, and Michael McDowell with an 11.8 finish. So that could be a dark horse. Alex Bowman is up there with a 12.67 finish with 3 races. And then Paul Menard is up there with a 14.2 finish. And then some notable guys. Denny Hamlin, who's always strong at restrictor plates, 16.6.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Martin Truex, his average finish there in the last 5 races is 20.4.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a rough go for him there. It's a
Yeah.
rough for him on restrictor plates, man. He hangs around, gets in a wreck.
Right. Yeah, he does so good getting to the end, and then it's like.
Yeah, he gets caught up in the big one, or the big one in the middle, or at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, is that it?
Yep.
Okay. Let's do our picks, and then we will sign off.
All right.
What do you got?
Putting the pressure on me. I think we're gonna see a first-time winner for the year, and I think Paul Menard pulls off the win.
Get out of town.
Yeah, I think he pulls off the win and wins it at Daytona.
All right. Well, it's such a crapshoot.
It is.
It
That's
really
why
is.
it's like.
Can Eric Jones do back-to-back? I think he could. Can Suarez come in and make me eat my words? He probably could. So I'm going to say Clint Boyer. Clint
That
Boyer.
was unexpected.
Clint Boyer on the comeback.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, TJ, tell them where to follow us.
You can follow us. So if you want to find our YouTube channel, which you probably shouldn't have to because you're watching it, but search TJ Spira and then the Laugh Lap will come up. But follow us on Instagram at NASCAR_the_laugh_lap. And then Twitter, I think I'm just Laugh Lap. So follow us on all the social media outlets.
We appreciate everybody tuning in. As always, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we really appreciate everything. And we're going to leave you here with the interview from Alex Bowman after his win.
This is all I've ever wanted.
Kyle Larson got by you. I see you choking up there. How did you regroup and pass him for the win?
I just tired of running second. I don't want to do that anymore. So, I feel like this is the last box, aside from going and chasing a championship, that I needed personally for myself to validate my career. I feel like obviously there's a lot more left to accomplish, but this is always what I hear is you haven't won a race. So I think even Chad said something about me not winning a race. So Shaq and House, there we went and did it. Everybody can stop giving me crap. We finally did it.
All right, for TJ, I'm Sean. We're out.